Hi, everyone. Hello, 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 everyone out there. Welcome once again to Simple Things Live. Simple Things Live. Simple Things Live. Yes, today we want to look at a few things here as niche. Americans say niche. We say niche. So whichever one you want to call it. So I'll just give a few seconds for more people to come on. I hope we won't be reconnecting today. I hope everything will be okay. And I hope you're hearing me clearly. So we only have a few minutes, slowly but surely, but I really appreciate everyone who have been sorry, everyone who has been updated here. Registration is September 9th, and we need at least 30% of the $5,000 by September 9th. And we're gonna get there. Presently we're just over 600, and I don't want to call the names, but we do appreciate every single person who has put. I just need $1,000. I do appreciate that. So even if you have $1, we'd welcome that, right? So welcome to all my subscribers and my viewers. I do appreciate you. Please share. Just click on the share below this video so that others can join in and benefit, and share. We can share with each other and help to empower and to build each other up. So I also want to give a shout out to my Toots Hibbert is on a medically induced coma. Tony Thwaites wing I visited, and since I'm down here, they visited my small church down here. Just such a wonderful, humble young lady. Robert, Geneve, and the rest of the family. Toots is in my prayers, and I pray that God's will be done, and he will be healed for his salvation and for God's glory. So before we go into what I really want to talk about, I just want to hit a little bit on the number of cases, COVID-19 cases in Jamaica. Following my Facebook Live in April, May, if you remember, there was one live where I mentioned that we would get to 3,500 cases based on the math. I'm not a mathematician, but based on the rate. So I'm not a preacher of doom and gloom. I'm just a realist, right? And we know things are gonna get ugly before it gets better. Things get worse before it gets better. And even when it gets better, it will be even the Bible tells you when they say peace and safety, sudden destruction comes upon them. So anybody healing itself and this wonderful world where we all hold hands and sing together, it ain't gonna happen. Okay? It just ain't gonna happen. Right? The peace we're looking for is peace in our hearts, the peace that only God can give. So we keep praying and hoping and putting all the best practices in place so that none of us, my prayer is that none of my viewers and subscribers or your families will get touched by this disease. So far, I've had my kids' dad and close friends who have died and who have had it. But first and knowledge, that is something you don't want to play with. So I'm asking you, tomorrow's elections, and a lot of people will be going to the ballots. Please stay safe. Put all your best practices in place. If you don't want to wear your mask, turn up on your yard, right? And just this thing is, when the flu season starts, it's only gonna get worse. Okay, and that's a fact. It's only gonna get worse. And when schools reopen. Currently, I saw where UWI and UTEC is under a few days lockdown. One case detected, and UWI has one staff member who is not, who doesn't work, doesn't really mingle with the public that much. The student body or the staff, the faculty and staff. One case detected, and I was looking at something here from my internet. I don't know why it's so slow today, From this website, Inside Higher Education, Inside Higher ED. We're here in the US, University of Kentucky, 760 cases. I'm not going to give the details. University of Kentucky, 760 cases. Gettysburg, they have all of their students must be quarantined. This was late yesterday afternoon. Must be quarantined in the residence hall through at least the end of the week. 25 students of the 348 tested positive. James Madison University. I mentioned Rutgers earlier this week. Well, from last week, Rutgers, I think it was over 100 cases. University of Connecticut, UConn, so many places. At my son's school, as I told you before when I brought him up, is like less than 50% in person. He's like, Mommy, it's so boring. He came home over the weekend. And he's like, Mommy, it's too boring there. The place is empty. I'm like, it must be hard for these kids who are starting college. You were looking forward to it with such great anticipation. Here, where I am, the school buses only started rolling Monday morning, 3 weeks late. In New York, my daughter started on Monday, went back up on Monday, and the other schools are pushed back to, that is like elementary, K to 12, are pushed back to September 21st. In Jamaica, I understand it's October 5th. So if you're anywhere else with a different date, you can just drop back. And it's just a scramble to see how things are going to go. And I really dread, especially for the little at quite a while. And she's like, the work is so much harder. It's so much harder for the staff. And I can imagine for the children. So how do we adjust? First of all, it's an election year. In Jamaica, I'd call it almost like a snap election. Who calls election in 3 weeks? How do you prepare for an election in the midst of always an economic downturn when in election year, especially in recent years, because people start speculating. You don't know what's going to happen, so you don't know how to invest your money. You don't know how to start a new job. You don't even marriage plans, that sort of thing. So, and worse during the pandemic. So the economy. I mean, they're not telling us the truth. You have to research some of these things for yourself. We're not really seeing the economic downturn as yet. Believe me. And this thing is not going to go away. I mean, even the Bible says, occupy until I come. I mean, a lot of people might interpret it their own way. But applying that in a situation like this, we still have to live till we die, right? So, and we have to try to enjoy the best quality of life. And I don't mean riches and glory and all that those sort of things. I don't mean earthly things, material things. Hey, those are just temporal. They will pass away. I mean, things that will make our lives better now, empower our life now for the time we have here. Because as I said, is given, much is expected. So we have to try to make things better for ourselves, for our families, and we have a responsibility to minister to those around us as well, right? And not just beating them over the head with a Bible. And I remember when I was small, we used to go to some crusades where you feel as if God going to come tonight. Jesus going to come tonight. And you felt such fear. Hey, the gospel is a gospel of love. That's not what it's all about. Many of you out there listening might remember those days, right? The gospel is a gospel of love, not fear. Even when the Bible mentions fear, it doesn't mean fear as in being afraid of reverence. So I've been looking at that in my videos for quite a while now, and also on my lives, which I started since last week. So yesterday on Monday I mentioned offering services, tutoring services for parents who still have their job while you might be at home like me. So offering services to help those children who might ever they're doing online. So the parents, because a lot of people are worried about their jobs. What am I gonna? How am I gonna go back to school to work when school reopens? What am I gonna do with my small kids? So that's an area, that's an opening for you as well. And today I want to introduce you also to online tutoring, which is something I intend to do when schools resume. A lot of kids have fallen behind. A lot of students, some countries cancel the rest of the school year because of, wealth is not evenly distributed. So the richer classes can afford the devices, but the poorer class can. So such as not to let anyone be at a disadvantage. I understand that they have decided to postpone for this year so that hopefully when things get better, they can go back into the classrooms. So depending on where you live, I don't know how it might be where you are in your country, in your area. You can drop a comment in the comment section and let us know. With a Zoom account, you can offer services to kids online. Or you might not have computers or phones or whatever that can do the Zoom, but I'm sure you have phones that can do WhatsApp. You can just you can link up to yourself and three people on WhatsApp. So you can do a little WhatsApp group, which love 100%. And I'm not going to leave out that, I'm not give that up. So if you're good with English, if you're good with math, whatever your subject area, you can do a little WhatsApp group with 3 or 4 students, that sort of thing. And I also want to let you know that here in the US, CVS is hiring it. If you're comfortable with vaccines, CVS is hiring in anticipation of the vaccines. So check with your local CVS. I hope I've left you with some tips that you can employ for yourself, or you can share with someone that will help you to carve out a niche for yourself, or a niche, as Americans say, for yourself during this pandemic so that things can be better. And remember, as my mother would say, a look up time now. More importantly, okay? Look up, for your redemption draweth nigh. So I leave you once again with Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Remember, the simple things in life are free.